My nose. You see my brain in?
All right, everybody. So, Kalash Bash, Texas, 2026. Out of 322 shooters, came up at 182, which is not what I wanted to do at all. But I certainly learned a lot, and there were some remarkable improvements. So we finished in the 56.52 percentile mark, and that is with me absolutely bombing 2 stages and overall just having a little bit of issues to work through. It was also absolutely downpouring. If you've seen any of the footage, unfortunately I didn't get a whole lot because it was downpouring, and so I'm gonna throw in there what I can and kind of showcase exactly what all was going on. But overall it was a super duper fun match, and everybody out there was a complete trooper. The ROs were phenomenal, and it was the gang, the family was out there having fun. So I'm gonna throw in little snippets of the match here and there, but unfortunately I'm sorry I don't have a whole lot of footage to show you. But what I can go through is how the gun performed, its shortcomings, which were mostly, well, not even mostly, it was all my part on a particular stage due to a weather issue. And then the other big issue that I had, which was actually a gear issue, not so much a weapon issue, and it was primarily with these magazines right here. So let's get into it. All right, so to start off, the very first stage, you know, super duper excited, doing our walkthroughs and everything like that. And in the excitement of all that, I got really amped up. I got those first stage jitters really hard, and I was so absolutely excited. You know, I've been posting content, been looking forward to this match all year long. So the mag pouches that I run are not super duper special. They are my OG issued Marine Corps Eagle Industries mag pouches, and honestly they've never done me wrong before. But the elastic is starting to get blown out, and then just a little admin pouch on the other side on a Blue Alpha belt. I absolutely love this belt. The issue that I had was I was focused on going so incredibly turbo fast that usually what I do is I leave this pouch open and I will flap this one over for an emergency reload, so that way I always have at least one spare magazine on the gun. And in my excitement, I left both of them unflapped, and I'll throw in a video real quick, but while I was moving from position to position, I actually lost both of my magazines, and I came up to the very last part of the stage and ran dry on the 45 rounder, went to go reach for a magazine, went to go reach for another magazine, and neither of them were there. So I racked up some penalties for missed targets because I couldn't finish the stage after that, as well as also, again, in my excitement to get the match going, I also forgot a couple of steals. So right off the bat, we're racking up crazy penalties, so that's great. The other issue that I was having was on, I don't remember what stage it was, but on one of the stages, I had this gun tuned for PMC bronze, and I had it more or less tuned to the cusp of functioning, so that way I could chase that really smooth recoil that I talked about in the previous video, showing off some guns. And in that, I was aware that it being colder or hotter is going to affect functioning and reliability and your pressures and everything like that. But what I didn't take into account was the fact that it was so humid and so rainy out there that it actually turned this gun into a bolt action on a stage. I was able to get about 2 rounds out of it, and then I would have to recharge the gun, 2 rounds, recharge the gun, and I ended up parring out on that stage. And so that was less than stellar. So what I did was, right after that stage, went to the safe table, disassembled the gun, cranked that K&S piston all the way closed, and proceeded on, and honestly the gun shot like an absolute dream after that. The most fun stage of the day, and one of my best actually, was the trench stage, which was full up to about knee height with water, and the boys and we got down into our underwear and got after it in the Ukraine simulator, and it just overall was a super duper fun match. We got to hang out with some good friends and eat some good food, and I can't thank everybody enough, specifically the match director Devin, for putting on such a phenomenal match, and I absolutely cannot wait. So that is the recap. I had some teething issues and some learning moments and stuff like that, as in don't get too excited and forget to do the things that you normally do like flapping a mag pouch and making sure that I have my gun adjusted not at the cusp of reliability, but more so aggressively, right? This gun shoots phenomenally, even with the K&S piston all the way closed, and so everything after that is just trying to edge out a little bit smoother performance, and unfortunately, I flew too close to the sun with it. And so that's that. The MRO, despite everybody and their mother, this guy right here, despite everybody and their mother complaining about the atrocious parallax issue, which, make no mistake, it does absolutely have an atrocious parallax issue. That's what this pad right here on the stock is for, to make sure that I can get a good cheek weld and still have a good sight line within the MRO. That way my face isn't floating on my chin right here, and I can get a consistent sight picture. Everything's got quirks, and as long as you learn how to work through them and learn how to train through them, it's not going to be that big of a deal. I didn't have issues on steel. I was absolutely smoking steel, which was an issue that I had last year, funny enough, so brand new issues popping up all the way through the match. And I have nothing but good things to say about the gun that Zach built from Schaefer Customs. I'm honored to have it, and it was so much fun getting to run my own gun at Kalash Bash this year, which is going to lead me on to my next point. In the future of this channel, I'm going to start posting things for Lethal Weapons, which is a match put on by the same people, and it's all Cold War era guns, and that is what the Dissipator is going to be for, and we're going to have a whole lot of fun with that. I'm going to try to FERT it, which, if you know anything about the dwell time issue on Dissipators, that should be a fun and interesting project to undertake, and so I'm going to be posting stuff on that. And that kind of wraps up the road to Kalash Bash 2026, and we're going to go back at it again next year, and with the lessons and the information that we learned from this one, and we're going to try to do even better. So certainly a marked improvement over last year, absolutely, but still didn't quite achieve our goals, so we're going to give it another fight again next year. And guys, if y'all watched or interacted with the content or anything like that, I absolutely do hugely appreciate it. It means a lot that y'all would interact or like anything that I've put out so far. So I appreciate you watching. Please stay tuned for more content, and we'll see you in the next one.